Hello. We're here. Yay. You're all here. Getting ourselves all situated. I'm going to click this little button so that my chat lives somewhere. Hello all. Welcome, welcome. Hello. I'm going to disappear here for just a moment and get a couple of books and grab some water, and I will be back in 5 minutes and get us all situated. So I am here, but I am disappearing. I'm back. I ran my errand. We have 5 minutes before I'm going to talk, though, so feel free to just sort of enjoy yourself. Nothing interesting is happening yet. You guys can, well, I guess I'll wait. Well, sorry. I guess I will do this so that we don't have to do it when everyone's here. You guys can see and hear and all that good stuff the way one might wish. We're all good in that regards. So
yeah, looks good. Sounds good.
Yay! Excellent. Hope everyone had a decent day today. Feels rested and like they got something good done with their lives. Can't hear me. I'm making noise. I'm not making lots of noise. I haven't been making very much noise. Is this at all better? Can you hear me now, Shannon? Shannon, can you hear me? Yay. Yeah, I just wasn't talking. Thanks. Solid guess, though. Solid. Has been a concern in the past. I know, it's weird. Like, I am always talking. Or singing. I do that a ton. I like that. That's more fun. It's much more fun if you get to sing. It's 4. We'll give everyone, 60 more seconds to tune in. And then I will start being obnoxious again. My Outlook wants me to know I should call you guys, that it's time for me to talk to you. But I'm already doing that. There's a lot in this chapter. Let's get into it. So yeah, hi, welcome back. It's class 3. You haven't had me killed yet, which means either you don't know the address of the School for the Blind or you are doing okay. I saw already someone posted, yeah, this is a big chapter. Lots of punctuation, lots of numbers, lots of rules, and some more contractions. This is a bananas chapter. This one's hard. Let's start. So chat or unmute and go ahead and tell us. I'm going to do a better job of keeping you muted when it's not time to be making noise this week. Sorry about that last week. I did not realize that the random noises I was hearing also sort of like hijacked the video. And now that I know that, I will just keep you all quiet. But for now, why don't you give me a sense out loud or in typing? What are you feeling good about? Let's start with that. What are you feeling like you're getting? What are you feeling like is starting to make sense? Is there anyone who feels like anything is starting to make sense? We'll deal in a moment with how much isn't making sense. And I know that that's probably a lot, but take a second and think about what's going well. What are you feeling good about? Is the alphabet starting to make more sense? Tell me or tell yourselves or tell each other. Alphabet's getting clearer. Yay, good. I am so glad to hear that, Dania. Anyone else is starting to feel a little better. Those of you just tuning in, we're starting to think about What's feeling good? What's making sense? I saw a post that just is about how this is a refresher for them, and that it's all feeling good because this is more basic stuff, and that the hard stuff will come later. And you're right, the refresher type recertification test stuff is not hard yet. This is not the hard stuff. For the new people, I'm so glad the alphabet is starting to feel good to you, Dania. I hope it is. Braille is a lot. Yeah. Oh, cool. You get to watch me on the bus. That's fun. Yay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna read this post from Shannon. The actual symbols and cells are catching on, but the things to look at that tell you what they are. So is it math or is it a letter? You freeze sort of like, it's hard to tell what mode. We talk about modes a lot in Braille. So we talk about number mode. We talk about grade 1 mode. We talk about a literary mode. It's hard to tell what mode you're in. That makes a ton of sense. You sort of have to start looking at those grade 1 indicators that we haven't learned about, and those number signs that we have learned about are numeric mode indicators, because technically a number sign is a different thing. If you want to be pedantic, there's something you can be a pedant about. You have to start sort of seeing those as big red flags, and even maybe sort of first pass through something. When you're getting used to reading, it really helps to look at these in stages and start by saying, okay, like I'm gonna just look for symbol sequences. I'm just gonna see where the word's at. And then, okay, now I'm gonna look for punctuations, like sort of fill in your knowledge that way. Like there's a period here and then a capital. So that's the end of a sentence, or here's the comma. So the stuff before that will make sense and the stuff after that will make sense. And maybe look for like, oh, that's a numeric mode indicator. So that one is gonna be, there's gonna be some numbers coming up. And sort of as you're reading, start by taking sort of passes at the stuff you're looking at and saying, you know, set yourself up a context to understand it. Because if you just look at it, it's just dots. It's all just dots. It's all just dots. So setting yourself up a context to knowing this is a sentence, or setting yourself up by saying like, oh, I see a numeric mode indicator. So I know that until the next space, I'm dealing with number land. Yeah, I'm glad that is helpful. So this chapter, we covered so much junk. We talked about numbers. We talked about a few rules with alphabetic word signs, some of the stuff we went over last week that they get to in this chapter. We talk about just a boatload of punctuation symbols, and also numbers. We talk about the UEB plus sign, which if you know Nemeth will make you pull your hair out, and the UEB equals sign, which if you know Nemeth will make you pull your hair out, and the UEB multiplication, division, subtraction, greater than and less than signs, which if you know Nemeth will make you pull your hair out. The good news is I cannot promise you that there is none of that on the test, but there is not lots of that on the test. Numbers, yes, crazy numbers. You gots to know your numbers. Do you have to know how to write 2 is greater than 4 as though it was a math test? You do not, because we don't write math like that in Washington. For those of you learning Braille for the first time, what I'm saying is that we don't use a lot of the UEB math stuff because we have our own, a new code, an entirely separate code for Braille called Nemeth that describes math. And if that's making you want to bang your head against something, it's not on the test. You don't need to know it. It's a UEB test. So don't worry about it, and don't worry super duper hard about some of the math stuff. Nemeth is something you will learn eventually. Lisa asks, is that something we have to learn eventually? If you're going to be producing Braille for a student, like in the role of a Brailleist or in the role of a TVI, if you're teaching Braille or producing all of the Braille for a student, you will probably start to encounter math courses that require that student to read and interact with Nemeth. And by the way, things like the PSAT, SAT, ACT, all of those require students to interact with Nemeth. So at some point in the teaching of Braille or in the professional full-time production of Braille, it is something that you'll need to learn. It is not something that you are tested on in the state of Washington. So it is an important thing, the Nemeth code. It is how we present math and scientific notation to students, but it is not literary, and so it is not the focus of this class, and is not the focus of the UEB test that you take and recertify every 5 years. And it is something that you can use. There are a bunch of resources and cheat sheets, and Duxbury can Braille in Nemeth, and there's a lot of other resources way beyond the scope of what we're talking about here. But the moral of the story is that you should recognize those plus signs. The equal sign's kind of important, minus sign's kind of important. Don't worry a ton about things like how to say a number is greater than, or use the multiplication dot versus the multiplication x. Like, that stuff is not going to play a big role in your UAB exam. Things that are, you need to know numbers. You do have to know numbers. So in Braille, we write our numbers using letters. Which letters do we use for the numbers? Someone type it or shout it at me.
We use A through J with a
A through J
indicator.
Yes. A through J with a numeric mode indicator, A being 1, J being 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And it's time for me to get my perky duck up here. You will have seen this in your book, but that numeric mode indicator, would someone please tell me what the dots are for the number sign that I am being pedantic about calling a numeric mode indicator? 3, 4, 5, 6. Number sign. It's the one I put right there. 3, 4, 5, 6. The letters A through J, when they come after that thing, are always numbers. Unlike in former versions of Braille where that symbol, that 3, 4, 5, 6, had other meanings, in UEB, that always means numeric mode indicator. That doesn't mean anything else. You see that? You got numbers. And you got numbers. I wrote ABC, or not ABC, I wrote, what, 1 billion? Is that how numbers work? I don't know how that stuff works. It's been a long time. 1,234,567,890 is the number I've written there, but without commas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. You can have multi-digit numbers, 10, 502, 349, 8675309. You can use punctuation, certain ones, commas, periods. Commas and periods you may use in numbers. So if I wanted to say 4,267,124, I can use those .2 commas in there and keep on going without restating my numeric mode indicator. So that is a number. If it is 51.96, I use my standard period, my 256. I use my standard comma, my .2. So those punctuations we learned about in this chapter, the period and the comma are the exact same ones here. They don't need to look different in the context of numeric mode. They shouldn't. If you're thinking about Nemeth, if you know the Nemeth code, you're going to want to put all kinds of crazy crap in front of it. Resist the urge. You don't get to do that. That's how you write those numbers. If I put a space, the number mode is over. So I can't write 1, 2. I can't do it. I've got a space. I have a space. So I did a 3, 4, 5, 6, then a .1, then a space, then a dots 1, 2. Can't do it. I need another numeric mode indicator to say 1, 2. I also need a numeric mode indicator if I'm going to use a hyphen or a dash or an operation sign or a colon. I see a hand raised. from a name that I'm absolutely and categorically refusing to say because this is Wssb hyphen blah, 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 blah. Do you want to talk to me? Hello. Well, let me unmute you. How may I help you? Person with hand up. You raised your hand and I unmuted you, or I told it to unmute you. What can I do for you? How may I help you? Did you raise your hand on purpose? Wssb hyphen whatever. Yes, it's you. Oh, it was an accident. Never mind. I do not know who that person is. I assume it's someone I work with though, because this says Wssb. I'm putting your hand down. So like I was saying, if I am gonna put punctuation symbols that aren't a comma and a period in there, I need to restate my numeric mode. So right now it's 4:14 p.m. That is gonna be 3, 4, 5, 6. And then letter D makes the number 4, so 1, 4, 5. Colon is, what's the dots for a colon? I'm gonna delete all that other junk. Dots for a colon. Not the thing your doctor asks about.
2, 5.
Thank you, 2, 5. Now I need a new numeric mode indicator, and it's 4:15 now. So I wrote .1 and then dots 1, 5. So if I'm gonna write a time like that with colons in it, it needs a new numeric mode indicator. If I'm doing problems 1 to 10, I need a new numeric mode indicator. We also had a chance to talk about all these fun punctuation symbols. I'm just lightning around this for you so we can get to brailing. If I want to write a, let's do that one. It's 2, 3, and 6. What's that punctuation mark?
Question.
Question mark is correct. What's this one? 2, 3, and 5.
Exclamation.
Exclamation point. What's this thing? A 6 and then a 3, 6. Dash is correct. What if I take the 6 away and it's just a 3, 6? What's that?
Hyphen.
Hyphen. What the heck is the difference between a dash and a hyphen?
A dash is longer.
It is longer. It also functions differently. A dash separates things.
It can mean like by Shane Dittmar.
Yep, it could. By Shane, etc. A dash separates something or offsets something. A hyphen connects. So if you have a compound word, I don't know. I can't think of a compound word off the top of my head right now. That's nuts. What would be a compound word?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. If we're gonna hyphenate goodbye, I'm gonna spell it all out for now. G-O-O-D hyphen B-Y-E, like good hyphen bye, as a compound word, or another one might be people pleaser. Notice that I used the P for people because it's an alphabetic word sign. Those are hyphenated words. When you put a dash in the middle of a word because they are two things that get hyphenated together to make a compound word, that's a hyphen. The little line is called a hyphen. You'd braille it with a 3, 6. If I want to write something like, I did, and that's not all, I have there written I did space hyphen, or sorry, dash. I said hyphen, I meant dash.
Shane,
Yes,
how do we write the date in literary numbers?
that's a good question. Let me answer that for you in just one moment. Let me finish this hyphen dash thing because they're nuts. So I just sent you a version of what I've written. So a dash separates things, a hyphen combines them. So like numbers 1 to 10 uses a hyphen. They also should be a dash should look longer than a hyphen. So I will show you how to use hyphens to Braille the Date. I will not show you how to use slashes to Braille the Date because you have not learned how to Braille a slash yet. For the date, we're gonna write, who do you think? So we're gonna start with a numeric mode. What's today, the 6th? 11. Then we're gonna write our hyphen. Need a new numeric mode, 06, hyphen, numeric mode, 2019. That is today's date up on the screen with hyphens in between it. You can write it with slashes, and we'll go over that once you've actually learned how to Braille a slash.
All right.
What does this group of dots mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
And?
What does this group of dots mean? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
With?
What is this? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Of.
And with of. 2, 3, 4, 6.
The.
What's the other strong contraction?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can use those by themselves and so on. I can also use them in other words. Hands on. Actually, hands hyphen on. I'm excited about being hands-on, so I made an exclamation point. And use those wherever they appear. There's other rules, but that's the big ones. Oh, phew. What's this? 2, 3, punctuation-wise.
Letter sign?
Letter sign is 5 and 6. A 2 and 3 is on the other side of the cell, and it's a semicolon.
Oh, yeah.
You are unmuted.
Sorry, I didn't mean to unmute everybody. I meant to mute everybody, and then it got wacky. Sorry. My bee. Yeah, okay, the B and the BB also true. We'll get to that later. Right now we're dealing with it in a punctuation context. Yes, semicolon is what we're dealing with it with right now. All right, who's ready for some sentences? So for the ones we do today, I would like for you to indent the first line of each sentence 2 cells. So start in cell 3. So you'll press space twice at the beginning of the first line and start brailing in the 3rd cell of your 40 cell line. You will let the run over, which is if you go to a second line, you will let that land at cell 1. So you'll start that at the edge. We call that 3-1 margins or paragraph format. So, and I would like you, because we can, to number every sentence we braille here today. So you're gonna write every cell 3 of your first line is gonna start with a numeric mode indicator, a 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the number of the sentence, then a period, a 2, 5, 6, then a space, and then you can Braille the words as I declare them to you. We're going to start with, let's see. Did you tell Tommy that he took the prize from the club? So we're going to call it number 1. Did you tell Tommy, double M-Y, that he took the prize from the club? Notice that you have a question mark at the end of that. Notice that you have some alphabetic word signs for things like Tommy and that. You're going to have a strong contraction for, oh, well, it would have been better the other way. Oh, well, my thing's better. Anyway, you have a strong contraction for the.
The sentence doesn't show anymore.
I put it into the chat. I can throw it up on the screen if that's like on a screen share if that's easier. You can look at my face or I can put it in Word. What would you guys like? You guys rather read it in the chat or would you rather me just put it up on Word in like a screen share as a Word doc? I don't have a preference. Chat. I heard a vote. It was chat. So we'll do that. Just maybe use the chat or use the chat or the whatever to let me know if you are ready to see the answer. I'm sorry, Catherine. Ready. Start in cell 3, number 1. Did you tell Tommy that he took the prize from the club? How'd you do? How'd I do? One thing I know that's really helpful to people is if you are looking at transcribing a sentence like that and you're still getting used to things that are contracted, maybe writing it out and underlining where you know there are contractions, even if you don't know what they are. So like if I had written that out, I could have hit you and I would have underlined under the word you because I know that that's contracted somehow. And then figured out from the, that. So like, how do you, the question it says here in the chat is, how do you underline with the contractions or word? So I would underline right under where I know that there's a contraction. So let me see if I can show you that. Go over here. So I would say, I know that that's a word that's contracted. The, from, the club. So I've put up on there the word where I've underlined you, that, the, from, the, because those are all going to be contracted words. If that isn't helpful to you, don't do it. If that isn't helpful to you, don't do it. If it is helpful to you, super duper do it. That can help you just sort of if you get used to recognizing letter sequences and knowing, like, I know that from, the word from is something, then you can go back and say, what's from? From is F. Like, I know that the is something. I know that whatever is something. If I was doing this to words, like partial words, like, for example, my hands on, with an exclamation point example from earlier, I could just underline the part that I know is something, and I know that any AND is something. And then, where did we learn the word the? We learned it in this chapter. It's one of our, did we learn the? And, for, with, of, the. Should be one of our 5 strong contractions from this chapter. Yep, thank you. I just had like a crisis of confidence. Yep, page 45 apparently everyone is saying. So yes, our 5 contractions. We have 5 strong contractions, and, of, with, for, and the.
Yeah, next week, hopefully I can do it at our house.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see if I don't work. How's that? Oh.
Sorry, I muted you because it sounded like you were having a conversation with someone who isn't me. New question time. You get to look at my glorious mug. Take a look at all of Joey's notes so you can help people. Take a look at all of Joey's notes so you can help people. And it's 2. Oh, I just sent it to Catherine. Catherine, I think everyone should get to play, don't you? Take a look at all of Joey's notes so you can help people. See a couple of ones right in there that I know I'd underline. You, of, so, can, people, look is look. Like is L. Look is just look. Yeah. guys ready to see it? Do take a look at all of Take a look at how we did that apostrophe there in Joey. Apostrophe is .3, and all that punctuation, colons, semicolons, all that junk, you're going to use it exactly where it shows up in the print. So if it's Joey apostrophe S because it belongs to Joey, then it's Joey apostrophe S in Braille. So you can, people, all alphabetic word signs. Of, so 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. What strong contraction do you think people get confused with of a lot? With is the right one, yeah. It happens all the time. Because they're flippers, they're mirror images. Of comes before with in the alphabet. So, I don't know if this is helpful to anyone but me. Of comes before with in the alphabet. So I like to pick the one that's full on the first side first. So of is full on the left side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. With is full on the right side, 4, 5, 6, and then 2, 3. Of comes first, so the full on the left one comes first. I don't know if that's useful, but that's how I do it. I think we should play with numbers now. I think it'd be a lot more fun. Drop number 3, we're doing sentence number 3. Drop from the report item 41 on or item 55. I have to stop accidentally texting the sentences just to Catherine. Oh, I like that. Pam says there's also an O in of and an O. You can make O with the dots in of the contraction. So 1, 3, 5 is O, and there's an O in the of sign. You can use the dots in the of sign to also make that. With points west is another one. I like that. Lots of good ones. There's also a W in the with sign. Drop from the report, sentence 3, drop from the report item 41 or item 55. Donna and Thea, it looks like you've discovered one of the errors in the book. I'm going to double check what you're looking at just to make sure I am talking to you about it correctly. On page 42, the word legislature. Let's find that one. Good job asking. Flipping through my book. While I'm doing that, I'm sure you are all hard at work brailing all your fun little questions. Oh, goodness. I flipped too far in the dang book. Brailing your sentence there. The next one's a doozy, so you should get excited. It's really great. I picked it myself. Where is Yeah. Yeah, it's wrong. The book is wrong. The book is very sorry about being wrong. In the embossed version of the book, they've actually left 2 spaces. It is. They want you to read. So really quickly, just to explain this error, it's talking about how you would restate the capitalization indicator, the capital word indicator after a hyphen, whether the hyphen is because it's a compound word or whether the hyphen is because of dividing at the end of the line, which, by the way, just don't. In terms of dividing words at the end of the line, just don't. Moral of the story, just don't. Just don't do it. So they show, for an example, the word self-made in all caps, and you need 2.6s before self, and then a hyphen, and 2.6s before made. They also have here the word legis hyphen lature all in caps, or they want to, but they have not capitalized the way that they should have. So you've just discovered a typo or an error. You're correct. That should be 2.6s legis hyphen 2.6s lature. They're wrong. They did it bad. But also, just don't divide words. Just don't do it. There's enough divided words, and they're a pain to read. Are we ready to learn about how to drop items 41 and 55 from the report? Okey-doke. Good job. Thank you. Chat says 55 with an exclamation point because I did a reversal to see if you'd see it. Good job. Who caught it? Give yourself a pat on the back if you notice that my 55 actually says 99. Tips for remembering Z and the. I mean, this is a very intellectual way of remembering it, but Z is E with a 3 and a 6 on it. So that is one way to do it. Is there others? Z and the. I mean, there's not really a reason why Z would come before the, but. Was a comment from the chat. Does anyone have any good ideas for what's helping them remember the difference between the and Z? Okay, it seems like you guys aren't scared yet. Let's fix that. The news of the week is on WLAK in all caps at 8 o'clock, 8:00, semicolon, but I tell you, it is not on late, all caps. exclamation point. The news of the week is on WLAK at 8 o'clock. But I tell you, it is not on late, shall we? Anyone need a minute on that one? Are we good? Almost done. I'll give you a second. I can be patient. I'm being patient. Braille's fun. This is chapter 3. You're a quarter of the way through the book, so that's pretty good, honestly. Like, I know it feels like you're drowning in a sea of despair, but you're also crushing it. You're also a quarter of the way through already. You can do this. I bet you're finding that this is taking more work and more thought and more brain power than maybe you prepared for. And, you know, Braille is hard. And if you're not reading it every day, all day, it takes a long time to stick. Obviously, you learn a lot more language in a language immersion program than you do using Duolingo for 3 minutes every week. Braille is the same way. It's not a language. Please don't fight me about this. Braille is not a language. Braille is not a language. Braille is not a language, but it is super hard to learn. And it really does help to be interacting with it. It really does help to be looking at signs and being like, do I know how I'd Braille in case of fire, do not use elevator, please use stairs? Do I know how I would Braille that? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you've only had this class and this is your first exposure, then you don't, but you will. Here we go, ready? There's an error somewhere, find it.
You wrote with instead of.
Uh-huh. The news of the week. How many of you remembered to use capital passage? It's 8 o'clock semicolon things I just mean. If you remembered to use capital passage, did you also remember to not to end it? Did you remember to capital passage terminate? Yay, Martha, I'm so glad you passed. Congratulations. I can't believe you're still here, but congratulations. I got the pleasure of teaching 7 people a very short version of this in Olympia on Friday at the NFBW convention. I did 5 hours with everyone taking the research exam. People keep asking me if I'm doing that at AER. Actually, people keep telling me that they are excited for me to do it at AER, and no one's told me that I'm doing that yet, but I will if someone tells me to. So anyway, most of my students from Friday, you'll tell me? Okay, cool. Great, thank you, Pam. Yeah, most of my students from Friday passed, which is great. Yeah. Has everyone got this one ready for a new sentence? I got 1 or 2 more good ones before we wrap up here. I'll probably stick you in with one more tricky one, and then we will do final questions. They're things that have stuck in your craw. Look, it's my face again. Look for dash and buy dash the new boat if the price suits you. Look for dash and buy dash numbers is 5. Look for and buy the new boat if the price suits you. Exclamation point. Why not? Nope. Dang it, I sent it to Janice. I'm sorry. Zoom, like, if people send me a private message, it assumes I want to private message them back. Look for and buy the new boat if the price suits you. So I'll give you guys a heads up little warning about this one. When you have things like punctuation, spacing follows print. So follow my print spacing for my dumb dashes. Oh, Pam just emailed me. Yay. Thirty more seconds, and then I'm going to put look for and buy the new boat if the price suits you up on the screen. How many errors should I put in it? Okay. I have 3 errors in it. If you think it's annoying to have to proofread, like to do this thing where it's got errors in it, that's actually one of your sections on the UEB test is this proofreading. So I need someone to tell me one of the errors. Please don't tell me more than one. Leave some errors for other people. Let's spread the errors
You
around.
spelled out 4.
I did spell out 4. I should instead have used
Dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
correct. 2 more. You stole the easy error. The other ones are mean. Now, some of you guys came up with errors I didn't come up with. Yep, so the end should be an exclamation point and not a period. So someone said no space before the dash. You follow my print, so I put a space between them when I typed it, or I meant to. So you should have one there as well. Boat is the other one. Find boat. Find the word boat. I messed up my A in the word boat. I put it in dot 4 instead of dot 1. Look for and buy the new boat if the price suits you. I know, I'm very tricky. All right, we got 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Does anyone have any questions about this chapter? Any burning items of curiosity, or just, are you just ready to take your brain out of your head and fry it like an egg? That image was really graphic, but it's 5 p.m. on a Wednesday, so I think we've earned it. Yeah. You're welcome for the review. No more questions? No burning concerns? That was fun. Thank you. Next time we're going to talk about strong contractions as group signs. Will there be math on the test? There will not be math on the literary Braille test. You will definitely have numbers. You may have like an equals or a plus sign. That's about as far as it's going to go. You will not have to Braille a math problem because we don't use UEB for math. Next week, strong contractions as group signs, which is the thing I showed you earlier where you can put and in the middle of hand. Short form words, punctuation, special symbols, and spatial layout for mathematics. Please don't hurt yourself doing spatial layout for mathematics. It's way too much work and we're not using it. It's not important. Don't do spatial layout. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a good practice to spatially, it's good practice to figure out how your Brailler works, but you don't need it. You'll do your own spatial layout in NEMA. that's next week. Thank you guys for being present. I did have a question about this. We will not meet yeah, I'm glad to be recording it. So we will meet next week. We will meet the week after that. The next week's the 13th. We'll meet the 20th, the week after that. We will not meet on Wednesday, the 27th. I will not be at work. I will be at the beach with my family. You will probably not be at work either. None of you wants to talk to me at 5 p.m. the day before Thanksgiving. So just a programming note, but I will see you for the next 2 weeks. This has really been fun. I love talking to you. I love hearing myself talk. And thank you, and have a great rest of your week, you guys. You did it. You made dots. I'm proud of you. Goodbye. 2, 3, 5. Exclamation point.